For the past 8 to 10 years, I have been working with natural dyes as a medium to explore my artistic practice and using them in textile in a very complicated process of dyeing, resist printing, mordant printing, painting, and sometimes embroidery and stitches. So this natural dyes, I learned it from my academic days in 𝗗𝗵𝗹𝗶 under the guidance of my teacher 𝗗𝗵𝗵𝗵 and in some workshops in Kolkata and Sutras workshops. So there was one of the thing, the basic thing which we learned was how to make a motif or a design element, and then to repeat it in textile. The repetition occurs, and then a pattern is created or a design is created, and then there is a rhythm in textile either in weaving, in printing. So I used to see the old objects in my home before the coming of all the mechanized objects like the stone spice grinder and the vegetable chopper called bonti in Bengali. And so these things became a primary source as a block, like a wood block for me, where I am taking the impression of those objects as a wood block print. So these marks also come from that particular object making and also from the mark of my grandmother making kathas. These marks only come as a mark making process through a column where I use the dyes in my work, and this also talks about the iteration of the daily mundane and that repetitiveness. So my work involves collecting the dye materials such as 𝗦𝗶𝗵𝗶𝗯𝗶, which is known as 𝗨𝗵𝗵𝗶𝗃 in Bengal, pomegranate, onion skin, flame of forest flower polish, indigo, manjistha, which is also known as Indian madder. It involves the washing of the cloth, destarching it, where the impurities are get ridden off, and it's made to absorb the dye very nicely. Then I use the 𝗦𝗶𝗵𝗶𝗃, which is called 𝗨𝗵𝗵𝗃 or 𝗏𝗏𝗃 in Hindi. The dye is extracted to it, and the cloth is dyed with that 𝗦𝗶𝗵𝗃 solution. Then it's ready for the work. Then for the black ink, I use iron dust and jaggery, keeping it fermented for 20 days, which is traditionally used in 𝗗𝗵𝗃𝗃 process and ajrak block print also. So that is used to draw the black areas or the lines, for which I use a 𝗗𝗵𝗃𝗃 pen, which is called 𝗗𝗵, which is made with a sharpened bamboo with a cotton bulb at the front, or with a local made brush or with a paint brush. Then it's kept for around 15 days to settle it, and then it's washed in running water in the river. Then when it's washed, the extra colors get out of it, and it's sun dried. Then for the resist, I use either lime paste or clay paste, which resist the 𝗦𝗶𝗵𝗃𝗃 dyed areas, and then I dip it in either blue or brown, for whichever I shade want. For the blue, I use indigo. There are variants in different reds, different brown, different yellow. Resisting the areas where I don't need color, I use wax resist, and which gives a very sharp edge. For the blurred edge, I use the mud resist, either clay or sometimes I use lime resist. And then after, it involves a long process of removing the resist, either by boiling in water. The wax is removed by boiling, and the other resist are used by vigorously washing in water, and then my work is ready. As a visual art practitioner and a researcher in textile with natural dyes, there is a ecological concern with the process where I try to use the natural dyes as a sustainable process, where I see that I do not discard any harmful or any toxic material to the environment. Another significant concern of preserving the lineage or the language of these hand-painted textiles, the 𝗗𝗵𝗃𝗃, the chains and the palampores, which were earlier in form of narrative scrolls like Mahabharata and Ramayana, and now where I am working with these traditional tools which become the central image for my work.